Guys, what's going on? My name is Louis, and God bless every single one of you. Today is October 23rd, 2023, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News channel. All right, guys, so we have some urgent information coming out. If you can, please share this video. And it says here, the U.S. State Department have put out a message. Any ceasefire in Gaza will give Hamas the ability to recover. Once again, this is coming out from the U.S. State Department. They are putting out this information. So in other words, ceasefire is basically, it's like giving a break, days without launching. All right, let's talk things out. Now, the U.S. is like, because it will give this the ability to recover. All right, so that's one of the breaking news. We have another one coming out. Look at this. Hamas is reportedly prepared to release at least 50 dual citizen hostages to the International Red Cross in the southern Gaza following negotiation between the T organizations and Qatar. Now, according to the Red Cross, once they have custody of the hostages, they will be turned over to the Holy Land forces along the border with the Gaza Strip in order to be reunited with their families. All right, so that's the information coming out. All right, we're going to see what's going on here, guys. But one thing I noticed, they release 1, 2, 3, whatever hostages, but then the next day, there's more added to that count. So today, the number has risen, all right, is at almost 240. So they released 2 sleeping giant citizens, but then the next day, 40 more were added. So it sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, they, releasing, but again, the next day, the number has tripled. So it's like, again, we're not seeing any progress here. All right, so we do have a lot more information. If you can, please share the video. We also have breaking news. I just posted this video over at Grand Supreme News. This link will be in the comments box. Hazardous dense fog mixed with smoke has caused a catastrophic 25 plus vehicles pile up with multiple injuries and fatality. You know what? So this took place today, Louisiana. Please pray for many people out there. 2 have passed away, and sheriff are saying there's a possibility that number might rise. More than 100 people were stranded. All right. So it's a really sad day for the people out there, man. Look at that. That right there is a semi-truck. All right. So there was some semi-truck that collided too. One of them engulfed in flame. So once again, guys, please continue to pray for a lot of people out there. And yeah, it's really sad day when you hear stuff like that. Just, just waking up in the morning, going to work, again, that happened early in the morning, and then all of a sudden, that stuff take place. All right, so please drive safe out there. They're saying to turn on your high beams, and if you can't see nothing, drive a little slow. And they say anybody that speed will get a ticket. Again, when it comes to speeding during a fog, you would get a ticket. I don't know who in the world would speed during a fog. That's just nonsense. All right, let's see what's going on here, guys. I want to see what's going on with some of these news that has came out earlier today. There is a disagreement in the Holy Land War Cabinet regarding the Army's readiness to go into Gaza. Now, guys, I believe the reason why they're not going in is because of this right here. All right, it's because of this. These are the sleeping giant weapon stuff that is in the hands of Gaza. All right, so if the Holy Land forces, if they do the ground operation, they're gonna have to deal with these type of stuff. All right. Once again, Hamas has released footage showcasing the use of AT-4. Again, these are all sleeping giant weapons, which they employ against the Holy Land. Now, many of you probably asking how in the world they get those stuff. Well, It's a little thing called the black market. All right. So the last 20 months, NATO, NATO has been sending a lot of stuff to UKR, Ukraine. All right. But a lot of these stuff ended up in the black, you know what, market, and is in the hands of these people. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so that's where we are right now. Now, it seems like the sleeping giants are blaming the bear for it. They're saying that the bear took those and gave it to, again, they're always blaming the bear for it. All right, so the Holy Land Defense Minister Gallant and Minister Gantz believe that the Holy Land forces is ready to enter. Now, the Prime Minister believes that more time is needed to prepare. And the reason why, just like I mentioned in that video, yeah, if they send the Holy Land forces in there, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough. All right, give me a second here, guys. All right, let me just skip this one here. Oh, hold on. I was supposed to bring this up. I truly apologize, guys. I want to bring this up really quick. Now, I'm not going to read the entire thing. I just want to show you guys something here. All right, so it says here you have the sleeping giant leader informed the leaders of 5 NATO countries about imminent Armageddon in the Middle East. All right, so they used the name imminent Armageddon because you have very important people that came together and tried to you know, when it comes to the war going on in the Holy Land. Let me show you really quick here. The latest report by the country's services regarding Hezbollah arsenal brought bad news to the Holy Land. In the event of a conflict between the IDF and the Lebanon organization, the sleeping giant involvement, and by extension, a major regional war must be considered more than a given. And that's because the IDF may suddenly find itself fighting on 5 fronts once it has committed much of its forces to Gaza. Not only 5 fronts, but they're going to have to face sleeping giant weapons. Man, the sleeping giant knew what they were doing. Yeah, now it seems like I'm about to read this because there's some good stuff coming out now. That is why last night, even though it was a Sunday, the sleeping giant leader, right, called and spoke with the Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin, the Prime Minister of the UK, and the Canadian Prime Minister, and the French leader, the German Chancellor, and the Prime Minister of Italy. Now, gathering all these leaders of NATO member country in a group chat is just not good. Now, they were briefed on the latest unpleasant developments and the impending generalization of the conflict. Now, the sleeping giant is increasingly mired in the Middle East event. So what's going on? What was the conversation all about? What's really going on here? On the other hand, the Bear Foreign Minister, Sergei, is going to Persia with the Red Dragon special envoy for the Middle East, emphasized that the situation in Gaza is very serious. The risk of a large-scale land conflict is increasing. Conflicts along the Holy Land, Lebanon, and the Holy Land Syria borders are also spreading with alarming prospect. So you have one side of the world, them, are coming together and trying to talk things out with the situation going on with these biblical wars in the Middle East. And then you have on the other side, the bear, the red dragon, Persia, again, Russia, China, and Iran, are coming together and they talking about their situation in the Middle East. Eventually, it's gonna hit the fan. It's gonna hit really hard. It's just a matter of time. Everything does not happen in one day. So you have the Red Dragon, Middle East Special Envoy. Situation in Gaza very serious. Risk of a large-scale ground conflict rising. Armed conflicts along the Holy Land, Lebanon, and the Holy Land Syria borders are also spreading. Outlook worrisome. So you have the Holy Land shock. You have the Holy Land shock report on Hezbollah. So what's going on here? According to recent Holy Land estimate, Hezbollah has tens of thousands of long range, but we already know that that could reach central Holy Land. And beyond that, an extensive array of strike drones, advanced anti-aircraft and anti-ships missiles, and a commander force whose targets include occupation of Galilee. Hezbollah has more missile in its hands than most gov in the world, and we are watching it very closely, said the sleeping giant. All right, so very closely, they're watching Hezbollah. The year was 2010. Skip. I'm not gonna go read this. Okay, guys. Yeah, if you guys just want to read this part, I'm just gonna skip it. So once again, according to the latest estimate, Hezbollah has about 150,000 missiles. So we already know that. When the story begins with, the year was 2010. It's like you listening to your grandpa's story. Oh, come on, grandpa. The year was 1908. Your grandma and I met at the park. All right, so according to a recent publication by the National Security Research Institute, Hezbollah has about 40,000 short range. And you guys get the picture on this one here. They are loaded. Now, the Holy Land came out and said that they have the Samson option, which means that they could fire their nukes. And it will be a 4th of July going on all over the Middle East. And then there's a possibility the Bear and the Sleeping Giant might launch their nukes. It's going to be 4th of July worldwide. Hopefully it doesn't happen, which I doubt it. I don't think it's going to happen. Everything is in God's timing, not man. All right, guys, I'm going to skip some of this here. Yeah, I'm just going to skip this one here, guys. Aim to take Galilee. At the same time, Hezbollah maintains a commando unit, I'm going to skip that, force, which will be the same spearhead in the event of war with the Holy Land, and may try to conquer Galilee in a plan similar to what the Amma in the south 2 weeks ago. The unit has about 2,500 training in Lebanon and Persia, including parachutes and boat training. Many of them gain experience in the war in Syria. The map of Hezbollah missile range published by the Holy Land. You got all these forces on standby. Multiple countries on standby. Everybody, you got world leaders heading towards the Middle East. They're trying to, again, Russia, China, Iran, U.S., Germany, France. You got so many are coming together right now. Phone conference and all that. It's very important that people start preparing spiritually, physically, and mentally. Things hasn't happened yet because there's a lot of stuff being deployed. And it doesn't take one day. I know people want to see Armageddon, but it's not your timing. It's not man's timing. It's God's timing. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to see if there's any more information here. See, this is the one I'm talking about. The Sleeping Giant rejects Mid-East ceasefire cause says will benefit Hamas. All right. So that's the information coming out. Hamas released 2 Holy Land hostages. That's breaking news, guys. That's coming out right now. 2 Holy Land hostages has been released. Now, out of those 2, I guarantee tomorrow they're going to have a new 30 people in their hostage list. The Red Dragon, oh, that's old. I'm just going to skip that one there. Wow. That's pretty big. You have the Palestine Prime Minister says that the West gives the Holy Land license to KILL, and Gaza basically saying the sleeping giant giving them the green light to do all this type of stuff. Again, the sleeping giant does not want to dialogue, no ceasefire. So at the very end, the sleeping giant is the one I believe that is calling the shots. All right. Sleeping Giant has sent a few military advisors to the Holy Land. There's a lot of important meetings going on today, guys. You have the UN General Assembly to meet over the Holy Land Hamas war on Thursday. That's how serious this stuff is. Alright, guys, I'm going to end this video. Once again, it seems like that ceasefire, the Sleeping Giant's not down with that, because basically a ceasefire is, break time. It's like halftime. You play basketball and then you have a halftime break, or the NFL halftime break, but it's something like that. You're giving break to the enemy, and so they can recover and they come back stronger. So the Sleeping Giant is not down with that. They don't want that ceasefire. Even though it's not the Sleeping Giant battle, it's the Holy Land. But again, guys, like I said, the Sleeping Giant's the one calling the shots. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to give your life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path, and that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.